Let's talk about re-enrollment into public school. So there are a lot of new homeschoolers this year that are homeschooling just because of the pandemic and the uncertainty with what is going on in the school system, and that's fine. And the time has come for some of them to return to public school or private school. But for this post, I'm going to talk about public. um, so, as many of you know, I am a former public school teacher as well as private school administrator, and I've been a lot of places in education. But public school is public. So, you can return to public school at any time. The public school system has to legally accept your child, they cannot turn you away. The public school system also has to accept your child at any time in the year. So, if you're thinking about returning back to public school, some people it's winter break, they've had their children home all winter and they've talked about it and they're like, no, we want to return back to public. Or it's the end of your 180 days and the new school year is approaching and you've decided that you want to go back to public school, and that's totally fine. So, the first thing you want to do when returning back to public school is let your association director know. We are not going to be mad. We understand that there are families homeschooling just because of the pandemic. We understand that homeschooling is not for every family. It doesn't fit into every family's dynamics. People get jobs, lives change, and we know that. So the first thing you want to do is just let your association director know that you are going to be returning back to public or private school and when. So if it's mid-year and you're like, we're going to return in January, just let them know. If it's the end of May and your accountability year is up and you're going to return back in August to public school, just let them know. It's just a courtesy thing. But it also helps us if the schools call us to verify that you are a member of, for me, Hometown or one of the other associations. The next thing you're going to want to do is, for elementary and middle school students, create a report card. So you're going to want to list those 5 basic subject areas. You can also include electives if you want, and a grade for each of those classes. For kindergarten through second grade, the grades are pretty standard. It's E for excellent, S for satisfactory, and N for needs improvement. But then when you get to third grade, it goes to letter grades. So 10-point scale, A is 100 to a 90, B is 89 to 80, etc. But for high school, you are going to want to compile a transcript. So a transcript is basically just a document compiling all the classes you have taken, your student has taken in high school. So if you're homeschooling just for your sophomore year of high school, you're going to want to create a up-to-date transcript with the classes and grades from not only that sophomore year, but your freshman year as well. So if we go back to when you're withdrawing to homeschool, you always request your records. And in your records, you should have a transcript from your freshman year. And you just add to it. Some homeschool associations give you a template to do. Some will offer the services to do it for you for a fee. A parent or guardian, you can legally do it as well. And you would just list the classes, list the credits, list the grades, and then calculate the GPA. And then once you've done all of these steps, now you can contact the school that you're going to be enrolling into and tell them that you've been homeschooling under option 3. You can tell them your association that you're with and that you want to re-enroll in public school. The schools, they vary on who you should contact. So when I was an administrator at the private school, my title was very long because I did a lot of things. But then at the public school, we had a specific person that only handled records and attendance. So they would be the person to contact. Some of the schools, you could just contact the front office and they'll get you into the contact with the right person. Then, once your student is enrolled back in public school, the schools will likely give them a placement test, such as the MAP testing, just to see where they are academically. So again, it is very easy to enroll in public school. Public school legally does have to take your child. They can't deny you, and they have to take them at any time of the year. So with private school and public school at home, like K-12 or Connections, that does vary with K-12 and Connections, they will accept your child if they have openings. I don't believe there is a cutoff date on enrollment. Private schools, when I was an administrator at the private school, we took students year round. There was no cutoff unless the class was full. Then we would put you on a wait list. So that does vary a little bit, but as for public school, they legally have to accept your students back. So I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.